Right, we're into reports in question 3 where they want us to create a report and it's going to be called R3 and it's going to be based on the existing query. Okay, that's an interesting concept because just remember in reports you can't select records within the report. So if you want to have a report on just the females or in grade 8 you need to create that query first. So they've created this query and they want us to give a report based on the records from that particular query, and then it must be this and it must be that. Okay, but let's just get that going first of all and we'll return to these bullets as we go along. So the first thing we're going to need to do is obviously find access, and then what we're going to have to do is go to create, and we're going to have to look around reports. Now there's report design and report wizard. Okay, just remember wizard is a little sort of mini program that sort of guides you through the design or the construction of something by giving you choices and options, and then later on you can go and customize what's been built or constructed or established or whatever you want. So we're going to use that, and we're going to say, right, if we go back, it said they wanted to use the data from that query called query existing. So be careful that you select the right one here. Okay, that's the table we want. They want all the fields. So that'd be quite quick just to do that. Then they want us to group. Just double check. They want us to group according to the office field. Okay, they want us to group according to the office field. So I'm going to double click it, and then you'll see it again. It'll be highlighted at the top. So everything's going to be given per office. In other words, whatever the first office is, those names that are administered by that office, then the second office, the third office, etc. And they also want us to put the names alphabetically. In other words, per office, we want the names to be, or the records to appear alphabetically according to surname and name. So I will simply say surname and name, and that looks fine. If you need to put it in portrait format, often reports are quite wide, so it's sometimes a good idea to put it in landscape. But in this case, we've only got a few fields, so we won't hassle about it in this time. And it's going to be called, I think it was like R4 or something. R3. Okay. I'm going to call it something even better. Rep 3. Major improvement, eh? And that's it for this part of the report. There's our report. Looking quite good. It lists the offices, everything's grouped under the offices, and within the offices they listed alphabetically. For example, he has the Fort Beaufort office, and they dealt with Coetzee, Edwards, Jafta, Lavelle, and Wood. Okay, and East London dealt with Colo and Langson. Okay, so that seems fairly painless. What else did we have to do here? It must show the average payment for all the people. For all the people. Average payment. Okay, so we're going to have to go into this report. There's just a global view of the report so you get an idea what it looks like. And I'm going to go into design view. Okay, might be a good idea just to remind ourselves the report header is the thing that occurs at the top of the first page only. Okay, then there's the page header, those are the headings at the top of each page, and that's the list of the offices, that's the actual data that's the page footer, which is at the base of each page. And we want to put a calculation in here in the report footer, which is on the very last page, because they want this payment to apply to all the records. Okay, so obviously it needs to apply to all the records, it needs to go in the report footer. Okay, the control that we use is a text box. Okay, not a label, but a text box. Okay, there we go. Just going to neaten it up a bit. You can see it consists of two parts. Kind of a label part. So I'm going to move that up a bit there. Over here, which we can do now. Let's just sort it out and give it a descriptive name. It is average payment. Okay, and then just leave it as the default. It doesn't really mean much as list 13 or whatever. And now we need to do a calculation. Now, fortunately, the calculations are very similar to Excel, except for the one I've chosen, of course, in that we use sum and max pretty much standard, and then the two others are count, which we'll look at in another question. But in this one, we want to use average. Now, unfortunately, it's not the full word average like in Excel, but it is the shortened form of AVG, kind of like the antivirus package. Now I'm putting in a lot of spaces, which you really don't need to do. I'm just doing it to exaggerate so you can see exactly what I'm typing. And then you need the name of the field. Now it's critical to get the spelling absolutely correct. So in this case, it's P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Okay, it doesn't really matter if it's lowercase or uppercase. Okay, there we go. First mistake. P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Okay, please note you don't have to worry about the spacing. Those spaces will be taken out anyway when I click out of here. You'll see though what it's done is it's put in square brackets. Okay, now you can put in those square brackets yourself, but if Access is going to do it for you, why bother? It's just one more hassle for you. So we have average in round brackets and in square brackets because it's the name of a field payment. Now that should appear in the report footer. I'm just going to make this look a little bit prettier. I'm going to put that label in red, and I'm going to shade the background of this one to sort of a light green thing, so just it'll stand out in the report so we can see where it is. So let's go and have a look at our report view. Okay, there all our records still, blah blah blah, but here at the bottom of the report, average payment was 442.76.47. Okay, now they did ask us to do some formatting on that. They said it should be formatted to 2 decimal places. It'd be nice actually if there was currency as well, I would think, but yeah, oh, let's do it anyway. Right, so I need to get back. Oh, I can't do anything because I'm not in design view. So I'm going to get back into design view, and I'm going to fiddle with this, and I'm going to say, right, I want to look at the. I'm scrolling down to properties here. Okay, yeah, properties here. Wow, lots of properties. Okay, I'm only interested in the format. Okay, and the format is certainly not date. Currency sounds reasonable, and the number of decimals they wanted was 2. Okay, that looks fairly reasonable. If they specifically didn't want currency, then you'd have to make it fixed. Okay, but I just want to make it look pretty. And let's close that. Should make no difference to our calculation, but just the appearance of the calculation. So we can look at print preview or report preview. Either one will work. And there we go, 442 Rand 76 is the average payment for all of these people listed in this report. So in other words, if we went and worked out the average of all those payments, that's what you'd end up. So reports are quite useful, not only in giving you a nice sort of pretty layout and grouping and sorting. It helps you to do some calculations, which is really not too shabby. Right, that's it for this report. Over and out.